Welcome here to a very special edition of the Bobcat Buzz. We are featuring the women's soccer team at Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse and our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership. This is, of course, Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora. We're very happy to be here with the Bobcat Buzz and head coach of the women's soccer team, Alex Grigorita. Alex, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm all right. It's that time of the year, with games, practices, and stuff like that, one after other. So, but I'm okay. Thank you.
You just had a rematch against the University of Maine, Fort Kent. You had that rematch and you were here at home. It was a rematch of the national championship game from last season, and you bested the University of Maine, Fort Kent 2-1 in the rematch of the national championship, which has got to be some hopeful momentum for the team right now.
It's actually a rematch from two national championship finals in a row, because 2021 we beat them in the final game. Last year they beat us in the final game. So obviously it's a rivalry, but I also said it's a super important game for us because girls get to see, get to experience higher level, higher intensity, higher competition, we truly can see where we are. To beat number one team, it's always awesome.
Yeah.
To beat a rival that we go neck and neck, for the past, 5-6 years, it's even more exciting, so there is a lot of respect between the programs, but there is also a huge desire to win and compete, so we happen to be more, lucky, better, less yesterday, a little bit more fortunate, but it's also comes with a lot of hard work and sacrifices from every single player, that's for sure.
What is it about, like you talked about this rivalry, about your program here at Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse for women's soccer and the University of Maine, Fort Kent? You don't just mistakenly happen upon playing each other in the national championship multiple years and then having these hard fought regular season games as well. So just what you could say about your program and their program and how there's been an evolution of this rivalry.
Absolutely. We started as soon as we started in the USCAA, our goal, and I'll talk about the women's side, especially, I always try to learn from the best. I try to have like a little role model, and just kind of follow the steps or see what they had in the past that made them successful, what they've done, to bring their program up, and I'm not gonna lie, first couple of games or first couple of years, they would beat us easily 5-1, 4-0, 6-0, so it would be an easy game for them, and my goal, and I always talk about, it's not about so much winning or losing, it's about developing your program, building your program. Those games obviously taught me a lot, taught our girls a lot. It helped us to change our mindset. It's okay to lose. You just learn, you compete, and learn how to make adjustments to get better. And year after year, we would slowly close that gap. So and obviously that program, it's still strong, but our level also increased from being like somewhere there in the average, to be the top team on the USCAA. And like I said, they from the day one in the USCAA, they served as a role model for me. This is a good sample to have, like what it takes to build a successful women's program. Like I said, I have so much respect for the program, for the coaches. Like they had 3-4 coaches since we started, since we joined the USCAA, and every single coach always has my respect. We become really good friends, and that's important as well, to have that communication and have that friendship and relationship.
You just talked about when you came into the USCAA and you played the University of Maine, Fort Kent, it was an easier game for them. They're scoring a bunch of goals, and over time, systematically, you close the gap step by step.
Yeah.
In today's society, people have this mentality, because everything is instantaneous on your phone, that you should step in as a coach, step in as a student athlete, win a championship every year because everything's easy. When you build toward a national championship like you did in the 2021 season, just what you can say about how this program at Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse for women's soccer has grown, and your appreciation of the journey and not just the championship, because I don't think that we ever really sit and talk enough about how hard it is to build something that you can sustain as opposed to just hoping that you win immediately.
You know, college soccer is definitely different than anything, than club, than pro soccer, than anything else. You know, college sport, it's at the time when you think you finally got it and you're there, you just realize you got to start over, right? Because just the cycle, you know, changes, and it just so quickly, you know, like every time I say like, okay, here I am, I'm building new team, bunch of freshmen, you know, I'm gonna have them for 4 years or so. After first year, you lose 1, 2, they want to transfer or something, didn't work out, you know. After second year, bigger programs come and they take players, like D1, D2 programs come, you know, and you can't really tell the players no, because it's an opportunity, you know. It's something that makes us proud as well, seeing a player, you know, starting with us and giving them a chance to succeed at the Division 1, Division 2 NCAA level, you know. So it's always kind of finding that tune, you know. It's always finding that what's gonna work, you know. And it takes so much work behind the scene, you know, because it just looks easy, you know. And everyone said, oh, you won a national championship, it's easy. It's not easy, you know. It's not easy because every single level, every single conference, every single league has its own challenges, you know. For us, it's a lot of work, a lot of hours, you know. And not only recruiting, you know, coaching. I mean, coaching, it just looks like, what is it, an hour and a half, 2 hour practice, you know. But the work that goes behind the scene, you know, before, to prepare for practice, then analyze the practice and come with the next session, you know, like watch the games, understand what you're looking for, finding what's going to work, you know. And this year has been especially challenging because we lost so many games due to cancellation and stuff. So I still have to find the chemistry. I still have to find the matchups in my team, you know, who works better with who, you know, what kind of system, who are the players, you know, what positions. So we had to sacrifice some of the games just to try new things, just to try new players and new positions, you know. Despite the score, despite the winning or losing, we just kind of try to look at the bigger picture. And I think that's what overall made us successful. We were always able to see the bigger picture, you know, what's behind that score, what's behind that winning or losing, you know. Like, and you just come day in and day out, you know. It's a commitment, it's a lifestyle, and that's the only way you'll be successful. You got to be all in, and that's the only way.
And you talk about commitment and lifestyle as opposed to just trying to do something quick.
Yeah.
Has your patience gotten better?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Players probably won't agree with me.
Okay.
But yes, the coaching style, the coaching approach, you know, definitely changes with time. You know, you become, and I'm not saying a little bit more patient or less patient. It's really depends on the situation, you know. Like, because a good example, right? After you go over the same thing over and over and over, and then you see a player still doesn't follow the whatever it is, the rule, the system, the pattern, the you know, the whatever the case is. Obviously, there is only so much patience you have, right? Patience you have. But then you see that you're kind of going towards a certain goal or a certain, you know, benchmark, and you kind of, okay, I get it, you know, like I gotta be a little bit more patient. I just have to go. And again, game to game is different, you know. We've had important games when I was able just to sit back and watch and just kind of give instruction. I have games when I kind of feel the team needs more energy, needs a little bit more not instruction, more motivation, right? Or more, you know. And that's what I developed, I think, over the years, better and better understanding the team, understanding the game, understanding exactly what needs in a certain moment. Do I make mistakes? Yes, I still do. You know, we all do. Nobody's perfect, but just learning every single day from the process, from the team, from the players, and understanding how can I take all of this and bring it back to more on a better way, in a better form, and help them succeed and improve. That's the coaching mastery, you know. So
Why do you think this team this season has the capability of making a special run?
I think one important thing about this group is that we are truly a group. We are truly a team. You know, we don't really have strong individual players that can make the difference or can make the result or score by themselves. You know, we might have one or two, but we're strong as a unit. You know, so and especially in women's soccer, that's extremely important. You know, so and every single year I say that yes, we have a group, we have a team, but something about this group, something about this year's team that just gives me the confidence, that they're ready to go, they're ready to grind, they're ready to work hard, they're ready to sacrifice, and yesterday's game was a perfect example, so I always tell them the game might not go perfect, might not go your way, but one thing you cannot do, you cannot stop working and stop believing in yourself, and that's how we beat number 1 team in the country 2 weeks ago. We beat number 2 team in the country, so it's all because they gotta believe in each other, play not next to each other, play for each other, and that's our big message. Group approach, and that's all.
We're gonna jump into rapid. There's so many questions I have, but we're gonna jump into rapid fire. So you get 2, I get 2. You can ask me the first one.
Oh, I don't even know anymore. Why did you call me last night? You thought that was a good moment. Why last night? Because you haven't
proud
called me.
of you. Yes, I have. Yes, I have. Let the record state, and I keep my text messages. I've been trying to get a hold of this guy for like 3 months, and then he sees me in public at another game, and he's like, "Oh, I guess you don't call me anymore." I'm like, "You check your phone. Check your phone."
Yeah.
I've been trying to get in touch with Mr. Hollywood guy over here. So why did I call you last night? Because I'm an old-fashioned person, and I was taught that you see someone in person. If you can't, you call them. If you can't, you text them. And I was proud that the team won, and you were actually the last voice that I heard on my flight. I talked to my mom, I talked to my dad, and I called you before I took off. So I called you to congratulate you on your victory and the team.
You did catch me in a good moment, because I was kind of just relaxing after the game, and usually my after game routine, I just kind of try to not necessarily watch the game or just think about the game, just really relax and decompress a little bit, because it does take a lot out of a coach, a lot of energy, a lot of thinking and stuff. And I was just relaxing, and I see Dan. I guess it's a good moment to answer. I guess it's a good moment to answer, because normally it just would be like, I'll get to it tomorrow, and that tomorrow never comes, So, but
So sweet of you.
I felt.
But when he
special.
calls, when he calls me, he wants me to answer the phone. I feel like this partnership's gone very well for us, Alex.
As long as we're both on the same page, we're good.
I feel like we've been great. You guys have done a great job. I'm trying to do what I could do on my end. I feel like we've had fun.
We have fun and we have an understanding. Yes.
Yeah.
Your turn.
Okay. So, you said, why did I call you last night? Why haven't you called me more often?
It's very hard during the season, not during the season. Those are excuses. We all have time. I don't believe that people don't have time, and you always have time, but just kind of the focus. And then
you love me less than last year.
No, that's not the case. Not the case. It just kind of was so much going on in momentum and stuff, and practices, games canceled, rescheduling, adjusting, and stuff like that, and thought process. And this really needs time, and it's always about the timing, like my partner says in real estate, that it's always about the timing, so I guess yesterday was the right timing when we finally, were able to chat a little bit and make this happen today,
Yeah, I was going to start putting him off to my assistant now. She could take the call now. I'm just kidding. What's your last question for me?
My last question: what was the last thing you ate at the airport yesterday before your flight? And how you handle flights?
I love flying. It feels like home to me because I've flown my whole life, and my mom loves to fly. So flying is fine to me. I actually forget that I'm in the air. I turned on the TV yesterday on the plane, and I thought you could have told me I was on the ground driving in a car, and I would have been like, yeah, okay. I didn't even feel it. So flying's fine. What was the last thing that I had to eat yesterday? Did I eat at the airport? Let me think. I didn't really eat anything at the airport. I got Starbucks. I'm a big fan of their iced chai and the pumpkin one, and then the cinnamon dolce is one that I created, put it all together. So the last thing I had was an iced pumpkin chai latte.
Oh, that's interesting.
That's what I had.
That's interesting.
All right, Alex. When you take me out to dinner next, where are we going? And what are we celebrating? My birthday is coming up, by the way.
What are they going to do?
Yeah. If you call me up and you said, let's go get some food, where are you taking me? Where am I going to dinner?
Well, it's going to depend. All right. So if I have my daughter with me, we're going to McDonald's. And we stuck with McDonald's, you know. So
yeah, because he's told his daughter that McDonald's is this 5-star restaurant that you gotta look. Is that what you did?
No, I
you played
didn't.
it up. You said, "Babe."
Actually, the story of McDonald's is a little bit different, and it's not that I bring her to McDonald's every day, but obviously every kid likes McDonald's, you know.
Yeah.
When we traveled to my home country, Moldova, oh, my daughter saw this beautiful 2-floor McDonald's that was overlooking downtown, you know, like of my hometown, you know, my home city, Chisinau, and she absolutely fell in love. She loved the food there too. The food was different level according to her, you know. So, and she will not 2 years later, she will not stop talking about McDonald's, you know. So that's kind of just more comes from there, you know, that appreciation. If we have my wife and my daughter, then we will have to go. It's going to be a debate, you know. It could be something as simple as Red Robin, Tollies, or something similar, you know. So if it's only you and I, then we're going to I don't know, some kind of beer garden or some kind of you know. So we have 3 different choices, you know, 3 different situations,
Yeah.
you know. So that's 3 options you will have to deal with.
I like that. Going to watch a game somewhere would be fun.
Yeah.
So it'd be nice to do that. And
although I'm a big fan to watch games at home, you know, and I think it's because I watch games, and I always talk about I watch games these days like more like a coach, not like a fan.
Yeah.
Especially soccer games, right? If it's a football game or something, then yeah, because I'm clueless what's going on there, you know, and I'm just kind of I like the picture, you know.
Well, I think I'm different now. Like when I first started watching soccer, I didn't know anything about it. And then I coached kids. And now all these years later, I feel like if I watch it, I'm watching it in the mindset of if I was ever to coach again, even if it was U12, whatever it may be. But if I was ever to coach soccer again, I feel like I would watch the game and take notes. And as much as I'd be watching it as a fan, I'd also be like scheming and then calling you and Nick and going like, would you do that? What do you think about that? Like, I feel like I'd watch it more in like a more analytical way.
And that's exactly how I watch. And I try to be just a fan sometimes, but you see,
it also depends on the game. If it's Italy and Spain, I am glued. I am like, nobody talk to me, nobody look at me, nobody touch me, nobody bother me. Like if Italy and or Spain are on television, I just want to lie. And I probably have to watch those at home because watching them in like a public thing, I don't want to hear anybody cheer for anybody else.
No, that's true, you know, but when you kind of watch now, you know, when you see something cool, some new tactical approach or some kind of interesting, you know, I was like, wow, this is cool. And then you see, I don't know, the team is down and something is not working, and you think, what would you change? What would you do, you know, to make it happen? And then see what the coach changes, and I was like, oh, that's what I thought. Or, oh my God, that was interesting, you know, that's something different. That's why, as much as I love and I have chance, you know, I love to go watch Lemoyne women's soccer, right? I love to go watch Syracuse women's soccer live. TV is one thing, video is one thing, but when you're there, when you actually on the game, you know, when you see, you look at the, I don't know, the game is happening on this end of the field, you look at the other side of the field, what the defenders do, right? What the goalkeeper does. Then you look at the coaches, like what coaches staff reaction, you know, it's all those are good learning experience, you know, like I said, luckily Coach Yaro and myself, we talk quite often, you know, about games, about practices, you know. I actually I went to watch couple sessions, you know, and again, it's always good experience, you know, that's for sure. And I'm always open to learn. So that's my kind of go-to, keep learning.
That coming from Alex Grigorita, a national champion and working toward the opportunity at another one here at Bryant Stratton College of Syracuse women's soccer team for the Bobcats in this Bobcat Buzz exclusive in our multimedia marketing partnership here on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora and through Dan Tortora Broadcast Media. For now, go Bobcats, and thank you, Alex.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.